Welcome to Wattage Wednesday. Today we're going to test and see how much power this refrigerator uses. So let's get started. So this is an apartment size refrigerator. It's 9.5 cubic feet. So I don't have much in it right now. It's not on yet. But in the freezer I have a container full of water. And in the fridge I have a package of water bottles. So that's what we'll be using to see if we can cool. And then I have a thermostat in the freezer and in the fridge. And right now, to start off, we're at 70 degrees in the freezer, 64 degrees in the fridge. So we're going to turn the power on. We're going to see how much it uses. I have a container of water in the freezer, and I have a package of water bottles in the fridge. And now I'm going to turn it on. So we just started this, so let me hit reset. Let's see how much power we're using. We're using 59 watts. Seems pretty low for right now. This was a real efficient refrigerator, that's why I bought it. So we're using 55 watts. The refrigerator will probably run constantly for, I'm going to guess, an hour and a half till it reaches temperature, and then it'll cycle on and off after that. 55 watts is pretty good. We'll have to watch and see if it goes up or down. But we'll check back in an hour and a half and we'll see where we're at. See if we're at temperature and see how much power we used. It's been 1.5 hours. Cost is still 1 cent. 0.09 kilowatt hours. Still using approximately 60 watts, with 60 for the first hour and then 30 watt hours for the next half hour, which would be the 90 watt hours that we showed. Temperature is at 1 for the freezer and 48 for the fridge. We just need to get to 40 for the fridge. We're at 24 hours now. The temperature is still in the ballpark, 3 degrees for the freezer, 41 degrees for the fridge. Let's see what we have on the meter. So it's 24 hours. We're still using just under 60 watts. If we were running it in the house, it'd be 13 cents. We've used 0.65 kilowatt hours or 650 watt hours for 24 hours. So in summary, the fridge is a 9.5 cubic foot fridge, so it's roughly an apartment size fridge. A smaller refrigerator than in the house. For the first hour and a half it ran continuous and it used 90 watt hours, which is the 60 watts that we saw it was running per hour. So for the additional half hour it's another 30 watts, so it was a total of 90 watt hours. For the 24 hours it used 650 watt hours, so let's subtract the 90. So we're left with 560 watts it used to maintain it once it got to temperature. So you do the math, that comes out to be 25 watts per hour. So that's not too bad. So if you were to run 12 hours at nighttime without any sun on the solar panels to recharge the batteries at nighttime, if it was 12 hours you would need 375 watt hours of capacity to get you through the night. And then hopefully the sun could keep up. And then you could run it throughout the day with the sun out. So about 400 watt hours. So my little Bluetti is only 268. So it probably wouldn't do it. You could cool it during the day while you have the sun out and then turn it off at nighttime. And it should maintain some of the temperature in the refrigerator. That's a possibility. You could freeze extra ice in the freezer and then move it to the fridge for 10 to 12 hours. So there's quite a few different things you could do. Probably another couple points to mention: the hotter it is around the refrigerator, the more power it's going to use to cool the refrigerator. So if in your trailer or camper it's a hot day outside, the air is not on, and say it's 90 inside here, it's going to take more to cool it. Same thing in the wintertime. So in this trailer, if we don't have the heat on, and we sleep at night at 40 degrees, and then if we're out during the day and we still leave it at 40 degrees in here, the refrigerator is never going to turn on, because it's only going to turn on when it gets above 40 degrees. So what happens in the wintertime is the fridge stays at temperature, but the freezer warms up because the fridge isn't running long enough. So the fridge doesn't have to work. So then you don't get the extra cold air in the freezer. So your stuff in the freezer might start to thaw. So in the wintertime, you're not going to use as much power to power the fridge, especially if you keep it cooler in the inside of the trailer. So for this experiment, I have the temperature set at 62 in here, which it ranges between 62 and 70, depending on where you're at in the trailer. So like we saw at the beginning, the fridge was at 62, the freezer was at 70. So when it started, that should be on an average day, maybe even when we have the AC on in here in the summertime. So we'll probably use a little bit more energy in the summer. But 650 watts for 24 hours, and that included getting it cold to begin with. So that was 90 watt hours we used for the first hour and a half, where we would have probably only used, if it was already at temperature for an hour and a half, we would have used 37 watt hours. So you can see there's more power used just to get it down to temperature. So if you like more videos like this, subscribe to our channel up here and watch more videos down here. Have a good day.